Thanks for listening to Better Business, Better Life. I'm your host, Deborah Chantry-Taylor. We're going to do something a little bit fun now. This podcast, would you believe, has been going since 2020. It started off as a bit of a fun hobby, and now some 5 or 6 years later, we're 260 episodes in and still going strong. Each week I produce a new episode, but I thought it might be fun to bring back some of the old episodes and leave them just exactly as they were. So no tweaks, no edits. So there might be a little bit of poor quality in there, but at least you'll get to see and hear from some of the most amazing business people that I've spoken to over those 5 or 6 years. I really hope you enjoy the episodes, and don't forget, if you ever need any help, just reach out to me. I'm only an email away, deborah@businessaction.com.au or deborah@businessaction.co.nz. Better Business, Better Life, here to help. So good morning. Welcome to another episode of Better Business, Better Life. I am here today with the CocoVinny. And for those of you who are avid kind of entrepreneur followers like myself, you will have probably seen CocoVinny on the Shark Tank and possibly also The Profit. So welcome, CocoVinny. Lovely to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. As I said to you before we came on the podcast, I've been a little bit of a fan from abroad, so I've been really keen to catch up with you and see what's going on. So 2017 was the Shark Tank, wasn't it? That was when you first became.
That was the entree.
Yes. But before that, you've had quite an interesting life. I didn't realize, but would you like to give us a little bit of your story before the whole Coco Taps thing started?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been an entrepreneur since I was about 16. So a lot of different ventures. The venture right before I started Coco Taps, I was in an internet gaming space. It was the only free-to-play legal internet poker site in the United States. And it was an amazing adventure. I raised millions of dollars in capital, and I just came to a brick wall, so to speak. I guess I call it my quarter life crisis. And so that's when I just went kind of walkabout and learned how to figure out what I really like for me, you know? So that was the main. Hold on one sec.
Sure.
What's that? Sorry, there's like a noise back there. Anyways, so that was like really the start of my kind of self-discovery on what I like, what's good for me. And I realized that 3 things that are the most important to me were whatever I did next, it had to be good for people, had to be good for the planet, and it had to be fun. So those are my 3 like non-negotiables.
Yep.
Covered the coconut, and that's how it all kind of started.
And I'm going to ask you a bit more about that and how that all came about. But before that, would you mind sharing with our listeners a professional and a personal best in your life so far?
Yes. So so far in my life, or just in the week?
No, the whole life. Go for it. Go for gold.
Okay. Well, so I would say my personal best was. There's a bunch, but there's some pivotal moments where you discover your power and who you are. And one of my personal bests was when I finished the Ironman. I did the half Ironman in Kona in Hawaii. That was a personal best for me, as well as a full marathon. For a big guy like myself, I'm 6'5", 300 pounds, and to do those kinds of events, those long distance events, those are big. Things that teach you how you can do the impossible, so to speak. Yeah. And I'd say on a professional side, I think it's right now, Coco Taps and discovering, my true purpose and my passion and doing things like getting onto Shark Tank and all these really amazing things that are happening. So that's kind of my professional best. I think it's something that will carry on beyond, me. I think it's just these really cool little things that I love it. So
fantastic. And we were talking this before, and obviously you had the online gaming business, and from the outside in, it probably would have looked like you had everything, but it really wasn't enough. So you decided to have that hard reset, I think you called it. And then can you tell us how you came to discover or decide to develop Coco Taps?
Yeah. So, like I said, I was doing some long distance event training, the Ironman and running and everything. And everybody's saying, drink coconut water, drink coconut water. And I couldn't stomach it. I thought I hated coconuts because you drink this packaged water and it tastes just god awful. And so I was in a meeting one day and the people were from Indonesia and they brought these young Thai coconuts to the table. They didn't have this yet, but they were cracked open and I tasted it. I was like, man, this is amazing. So every day after my workouts, I had a knife and a hammer. And I was just cracking open these coconuts, drinking them after my workouts, and life was good. But 2 weeks after this process, the knife I was using belonged to my stepdad, and I ended up breaking the knife and messing it up. And I didn't know it was a very prized possession of his. So I thought it was unmarked. I thought it was just a knife I could just go get. Well, he bought this knife in Germany 20 years ago. It was a big deal. And so it was a mess because my mom was like, he's mad, you broke his knife. So that's where it started. And I was like, well, I can't be the only jamoke sitting here, breaking knives, almost cutting their fingers off on coconuts. So that's where it all started. And I said, why don't we just take the top of a water bottle and somehow get it into a coconut? That was the idea. That's how it started.
And then, of course, it grew significantly, and you were in all of the restaurants, all of the hotels. Where can we find Coco Taps? I mean, in the US, it's about all over, isn't it?
It's expanding. We're opening up 2 more territories this next year in 2022. Our international footprint's probably going to be another year after that.
Yep.
But we have a machine coming out that will go in all the bars and restaurants. It's a fully automated coconut cocktail machine. So you'll put the raw coconut in, it'll laser brand a logo, it'll drill a hole, and it'll even inject alcohol or juice or whatever you want into your coconut. So it's a coconut cocktail making machine. So that's our expansion plan. Those are gonna roll out everywhere.
Yeah.
And we have some exciting things. Before we get to all that, I'll tell you about my dream, the farms.
Yep.
We're going to be building coconut farms in Hawaii, Costa Rica, and even Puerto Rico to localize the coconut supply for the United States. So that's our big vision. 10-year target is to have 1 million coconut trees planted.
Oh, that is just awesome. So tell me, I obviously know that you're using EOS in your business. And so when you talk about 10-year targets, for me, it's like, oh, yeah, of course. So I expect that. But not every business owner has those sort of 10-year targets, 3-year plans, all those things. It's one of the beauties of EOS. It gives us a chance to kind of full plan. How did you come across EOS and why did you bring it into your business?
Well, one of my friends and clients of previous business, Shelly Woodrow, and she just she'd been going through all this training and she told me about it, and I was like, wow, that sounds great, and this was pre-COVID. So we started, and then COVID hit, and it was just it's probably one of the best things that could have happened to us during COVID, because it's still, we did everything remote, but it was still helpful to go through these processes and still learn how to pivot and learn how to adapt and adjust to what's going on and adjust the targets and make new ones, and, all that stuff.
Because it would have hit you pretty hard, right? The COVID lockdowns over in the US.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we were shut down. We probably lost 18 months of revenue. It was just terrible. So it was kind of depressing, to be honest, because we had just landed some big deals with like big cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, and things were starting to really get traction, and then zero. And that just, we did our best. We kept our whole team on payroll. Thank God we had a little bit of cash in the bank, but I just let it dwindle out and down because I didn't want, our team to suffer, just because it is what it is. So we were able to pivot a bit. We did a little home delivery service stuff. We kind of got classified as an essential business because it was like food and beverage kind of thing. So did a little bit of that, but it really gave us time to think about not just being, in the business, but getting on the business. And it expanded my horizons. I accelerated that Tap-O-Matic machine that I told you about. And a lot of good things come out of it, though.
And so how do you think you would have coped if you hadn't been doing EOS at that time? Because my understanding is it does bring the team together. It gets you thinking about longer term, not just the day-to-day stuff. But give me your experience of it.
Yeah, what's neat is that a lot of people don't think long term, but my problem is that I'm so macro a lot of times. I'm so big vision that it actually helped me bring it in. And so the 10-year target is actually like, the 10 years like the 1 year to me, because I was in an 80-year plan kind of thing. I was like, oh, I got this, I want this. And then it's like, oh no, let's do it 10 years. And so it's been great. It's helped our team focus. It's helped me focus. Measurements, KPIs, managements, all that stuff is just really helpful. And it's helped wean out, our core values. Having our core values has really helped us hire and fire very, very efficiently. So there's just some really great things that have come out of it.
Tell me about the hiring and firing using the core values. Like it's something we talk about all the time, but how does it work in practice?
What's neat is that when we run our culture so tied to our core values that we don't have to fire people. If they're not in alignment, they just go. They just self-select out. And when we are hiring, we really iterate and make sure that they understand like what we're all about and what the vibe is. And so it's been really nice. We haven't had to fire anybody. They'll quit.
Awesome. So, we like that, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And I know you're a big picture thinker. I can see from obviously your other experiences as well. But did you know you were a visionary, and did you have any understanding of what impact that can have on the business?
I guess I knew, but with this whole, all the tests and all the different things that we do, it's even giving me more insight into it. So, yeah. I'm what they call it, a quick start. So I'm like a 10. I don't know.
Oh, I'm a 9. That's pretty good, but 10. Wow. Yeah.
I was like, okay. So yeah, there's so yeah, you learn. I'm learning about all this stuff. So
yeah. And I'm assuming you've got a good integrator who balances you in the business.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We've got Ashley and Coco Rob. They're really good at keeping me in check there.
Excellent. And so I'm just wondering, a lot of people, I'm from New Zealand, as you know, and we are currently in day 71 of our lockdown, I think it's our 5th lockdown. And it's getting frustrating because people don't quite know what's happening. And for a lot of people, they go, well, I don't want to start anything new because I don't know what's going to happen. I try and argue with them and say, well, actually, this is the perfect time to be looking at it. You must have gone through something like this when COVID hit. Did you have we should put everything on hold, or?
Well, yeah, I stepped on the gas hard. So I doubled down on our R&D, the development of the machine. I doubled down on fundraising. Yeah. I was actually reaching out to investors and raising money through the pandemic. So I was able to raise close to $1 million during that time in the pandemic. I was just hammering the phones. It's really hard to raise money though, when you're having to be not in person. For me, I'm a very, relationship driven person. So I like to build rapport and develop connection first before I ask people for money or anything like that. But it's challenging, but we were able to get some really good people on board. So yeah.
And so the things that you took to raise the money for and that you've actually brought in place, they were part of your plan for going forward. It just got brought forward, or it gave you time to focus on it. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, it gave me time to focus. And I loved not having to do anything the day-to-day, so to speak. And then I loved working on the strategic part of it. So it was tough. I was really grinding hard. And then also we went out to the streets. Like there was a lockdown, but there was people out there that were just not, they started eating outside and doing things outdoors instead of being inside places. So we would go and set up our table out at the park where all those traffic was at, and we would sell coconuts out to the crowd, just kind of like guerrilla street marketing in a way. That really worked. That really paid off big. We set up at the Las Vegas sign when traffic started to come back. And so that was good. But, we had to get real creative. It was challenging, I'll tell you. Yeah. I've never had so many start stops. I mean, we lost probably $2 million in business because of the pandemic, just shut down.
How do you keep the team motivated through all that?
Work.
Yep.
And just stay at it, keep paying everybody.
I'm sure they're very grateful for that. Yeah.
They were. It's like we didn't have to do that, but they we did whatever they could see. I was doing everything I could to keep it together. So I think when you go all in and you bet all in and you just keep working, then they follow. That keeps people motivated too.
Fantastic. And of course, you're off on a trip tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to Costa Rica tomorrow.
Yeah.
We are going to tour 2 different farms that we're going to potentially buy to start planting coconuts.
Yep.
We're excited. We're going to plant a lot of trees, a lot of coconut trees.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Can't wait to see that. So just from an overall point of view in terms of business, we talk about this whole hockey stick growth. Well, I don't, but universities do and say this is the way that business grows and it's all beautiful and smooth. It's not like that in real life, is it?
No, it's not at all. They say it takes 10 years to make an overnight success.
Yeah.
And I'm on year 7 or 8 right now in this venture. And honestly, it feels like we're just getting started. So I like to look long game. The biggest question that I hate being asked by investors or by anybody is, what's your exit strategy? What's your exit strategy? And I'm like, that's such a stupid question to me, because it's like, if you build something that you want and that you want to exist in the world, you don't necessarily want to think about getting out of it. It's like, I just came in. Why do I want to go think about getting out? And I think if you're thinking about getting out all the time, you lose a passion and you lose the love for the actual project. You're just thinking like a flipper or like a trader or so there's a big difference between a long-term investor, long-term shareholder versus a trader or somebody who's just trying to get in, get out, make some money, flip it out. So that's one of the things that I feel like in my life now, that I've found something that I truly enjoy and I'm passionate about, that I don't need to think about an exit. The exit will come if somebody shows up with a ginormous check. I may or may not take it, but I want to be here for the rest of my life, so to speak. Like I'm all in, so I don't need to worry about those kinds of things. And
I think you mentioned at the beginning, you've got the 3 things that are really important is if you're doing what you love with people that you love, you're making a significant difference to the planet. Why would you, and you've got time still to pursue other passions, why would you actually want to exit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Build something with value that'll keep continuing to add value. You don't have to get rid of it.
So tell me, what do you do outside of work? What are your passions outside of work? And do you find time to do those these days?
So it's been a little challenging because coming out of COVID, we just been gangbusters and just go.
Yep.
I love riding my bike. I like exercising, although you can't really tell right now. No, but I like playing the piano, ukulele. I'm just passionate about life, I guess, and just like people. I like dancing. I like singing. I like karaoke. There's so many things that I like to do. Mainly I love building businesses too.
So what's been your number one challenge in the business, and how did you overcome it?
Well, I wouldn't say we overcame it yet, but one of the biggest challenges in any business, but in this business, has been I'd say capital, raising enough capital. When you have something that's brand new, that's never been done, there's a lot of R&D, there's a lot of different things that you got to work on. So that's been a challenge, fundraising potentially, but we've overcome those, just meeting more people and working hard. I'd say another challenge for the business or for me personally.
Either or, as both a business owner, but also for the business.
Yeah. I mean, they always talk about, life balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a fallacy. I feel like if you're going to you hear it a lot, but if you're going to build a business, you're going to put it out there, things are going to get out of balance, and you're just going to have to work to get them, they're going to go this way, then you got to adjust them that way. So I think that's the biggest challenge, or the thing that people have to realize if they're going to go into business. This is not made for everyone. You have to have, I tell people, you got to have really big coconuts for this game.
So what do you do when you find yourself out of balance? Well, I'm with you. I don't believe that actually it's a balance, as in it comes down to, if you're doing what you love, it doesn't really matter. But that said, you've got to be doing things that you love in all areas of your life. So if you catch yourself and realize that maybe things aren't quite going the way that you would hope they would do, what do you do then?
Yeah, you just, you write it down. You're like, okay, I need to do this. And you start scheduling what those little baby steps are going to be, and just start, so those are some of the things that I'm working on personally. It's like, okay, we're going to get our workouts in the morning. We're going to, put the phone away X amount of time, or you just have to really draw a line and stick with it as best you can. You're never going to, nothing's perfect. You're never going to, whatever. But I think writing it down for me is helped to just get back on track. Right. So.
Absolutely. Perfect. Yeah. And from a thing that you're most proud of in the current business, what is it?
Oh my gosh. Well, I would say it's this tap here.
Yep.
I'm so proud because it took me over 3 years to get this made. This used to be made out of plastic, and now this little tap here is not plastic. It's made out of a ocean safe, fully compostable, biodegradable corn material.
Corn material, yeah.
This makes us full zero waste. So we could grind this up. We could bury this in the backyard.
Yep.
If it ends up in the ocean, or this coconut is yard waste. So we can literally use all of this again and grind it down and make other products. So I'm very proud that we got our patent on this, and it was really difficult. Like the tap and the cap has been this was a challenge to get something that's not plastic.
Yep.
And this is amazing. It performs like that. We found some partners called Beyond Green in California, and they helped us make this real. So this was a dream. And I'm extremely proud of this. And also the Tap-O-Matic machine that we're building.
I know that sounds so exciting. I'm really thrilled by that. Yeah.
Flow through, and then we make them real, and I'm like, oh my God, so that's it. That's what it's all about. So.
Yeah. Fantastic. Hey, for the listeners listening in, they're generally business owners themselves. They may feel like they're hitting the ceiling or coming up against some challenges. What are the 3 sort of top tips that you would give them for having a better business and a better life, for that matter?
Well, not taking anything too seriously. I say every setback is a setup for a comeback.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing, is like, even failure is not a person, and it's just a moment, and you can change that moment. Yep. and just keep going. Don't stop, keep going. Don't give up. Just, what is it? Like I said, anything worth stressing over is not worth it at all. I just really don't, you just got to keep things in perspective. Life is short anyways. None of us are getting out of here alive. Some of us haven't, with all this pandemic stuff and just all the things going on, like, I think that's what I'm so passionate about, just spreading some happiness, some joy, some Coco love, something that, I love this business because it's like, I tell my team sometimes, because we get stressed. I said, look, guys, it's just coconuts. Nobody's gonna die, right? It's just coconuts. Like, let's just keep it in perspective, keep it in check. So that's it. You got to laugh and you got to have fun, is whatever you can do to keep going on. To keep on. That's what I try to do.
Have you got any favorite, books or podcasts, TED Talks that you highly recommend?
So lately, I haven't been consuming much of anything. I've just been going. But I've read Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich a lot.
Yeah.
Some of the staples. I have a hard time reading. True story. If I read a physical book for more than 15, 20 minutes, I kind of zone out and I'll almost fall asleep. But I try to listen to audiobooks or different things. I got through the whole Shoe Dog book recently, which is the Phil Knight Nike story.
Oh, yeah.
Good book. Inspirational.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, very inspirational. I mean, to each his own. I kind of feel like I'm making a book. I have a really good story to tell in this whole process of things that I've done and, adventures that I've been on. All the bad things that have happened to me in my life are going to be an amazing story because we've overcome them.
Yeah, I completely agree. I look forward to reading that book. What about, this is me sort of using my little EOS hat, what's your favorite EOS tool?
EOS tool?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite EOS tool. I would say my favorite one that we sometimes miss is our level 10s.
Okay.
Our L10. That tool is just really good to keep everything, on track or to realize that you're off track.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites that we do weekly,
Yeah, I've seen it makes such a big difference to client meetings. Yeah, even from the beginning, it can actually change a business, I think. Yeah. Okay, so this is an international podcast, although it's mostly based in New Zealand and Australia. But if somebody wanted to get in contact with you and find out more information or ask you a question, how would they get hold of you?
So you can, I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, CocoVinny, CocoVinny,
Yep.
As well as CocoTaps.com. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. If you just Google CocoVinny, you can catch me pretty easily. I'm pretty active, responsive.
You are wonderful. In fact, the reason that we got introduced was through Shelley, having talked to her early on the week, and she said, you must speak to CocoVinny. I think I sent you a LinkedIn message and you came back almost immediately, which was fantastic. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. In terms of just finishing off, just paint for me the picture. What's this going to look like in another 3 years' time when you've done your 10 years?
Well, so the most exciting thing is that we're going to have these beautiful agritourism resorts in Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Costa Rica, where people can come, kick their feet off, have a coconut, get tapped in, tap into nature, tap into life, the simple kind of life. So we're gonna allow people to sponsor a tree with us. So every tree that we plant is going to sequester 80 pounds of carbon out of the air. So over 25 years, each tree will sequester 1 metric ton of carbon out of the air. So it's a major impactful project for us. So we're going to be in our Coco bungalow, spreading the Coco love, all the restaurants, resorts, cruise ships, theme parks, everybody's going to get involved. And we're all going to help make this world a better place by building soil, creating healthy food, air, and water. So that's the dream. The Coco dream is real simple.
Excellent. I can't wait to come and be part of it. Hey, look, CocoVinny, it's been absolutely delightful to finally get to meet you after following you all these years. And thank you for your time. Really, really appreciate it. Keep up the great work. And I'll look forward to the day that over this side of the world, we also get our own Coco Taps.
Don't get a lockdown. I'm going to come and visit. I swear I will.
And, please. We'd love you to. Yeah.
Say hi to Ellie there on the little elephant in the room.
You need to come and say hi to Ellie. Absolutely. Hey, look, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. We'll talk again soon.
Take care.
Thank you. Cheers.